Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to review Malicious Payload VR. Malicious Payload is a game that was released on the Steam store in early access on February 3rd, 2020 by developer Last Howl. It's available for the Valve Index, HTC Vive, and the Oculus Rift. It normally retails for $10. It's currently on a sale, 10% off during the Steam Winter Sale 2020, and I got this through Viveport Infinity. The developer describes Malicious Payload as a VR game about cool slow motions and shooting bots. That's probably the most generous description you can give it. It's basically just a wave shooter. You can move around, you have full locomotion and snap turning. You do have the option of choosing the angle for your snap turn. You can also choose the teleportation option, and I only saw two different types of enemies. I saw normal robots and then some flying drones. Unfortunately, this is not a good wave shooter. This game is just lacking in so many different things, from the level design, which is pretty drab and uninteresting, to the enemy AI, which is pretty dumb, to enemy variety. I only saw two different types of enemies, just your normal walking robots and then your flying drones. And the weapons here, there are different types of weapons, and basically this game, you kill enemies in different waves, you get money, then you can purchase new weapons or new passageways to go through, and that's basically the core gameplay loop. You defeat a wave of enemies, then you get money to purchase new exits and also new weapons that you get along the way. You could say this is sort of like a roguelike because your progress does reset after every run, and I guess you can try different weapons and different paths to get as far as you can within the game. However, the problem is it really is just a wave shooter. You can dress the wave shooter in a roguelike atmosphere, but at the end of the day, when the enemy AI is this dumb, and the weapons, while you can get different ones, all feel basic and none of them are fun to use. They're uninteresting. There is no actual upgrades to the actual weapon. You just get a new weapon that might be better than the last one. However, the look of the weapons, the sounds from the weapons, the performance of the weapons, its effectiveness are all underwhelming. So it's just not fun to shoot at enemies. Even trying to use the grenades and stuff, throwing them, it felt very underwhelming. There's like a anti-gravity grenade, and I couldn't throw it more than a few feet in front of me no matter how hard I try. It just was very funky, very janky physics there. Now, I tested this game on the Oculus Quest 2, and I had an issue with the gun angle on the Oculus Quest 2. The gun angle by default was just too high, so I had to point my gun a lot lower than was comfortable in order to shoot at the enemies. Unfortunately, because of that discomfort, it made the game not very fun to play for any extended amount of time. I also experienced a major bug, a major issue during my gameplay, and it happened every single time I played this game. So I don't know if currently this bug exists for everyone or if it's just on the Oculus Quest 2. But every time that I played this game, if I took too much damage and I guess died, instead of actually dying, all that happens is that the lights go out and you move very slow. However, you can still shoot at enemies and they can still shoot at you. It's just not very fun to play that way when you're moving at a snail's pace, and there really is no point to continue going forward. The problem with this bug is that you can't exit. There's nothing you can do at this point. You can't go to main menu. There's nothing for you to do. You basically have to quit the game and restart. But again, once you restart, you're going to come across the same issue once you get past a certain amount of time and take too much damage. In fact, for this video, I intentionally just stood there looking at the enemy, taking as much damage as possible to show you this bug that happens every single time. So as the game is currently broken, I cannot recommend it, but even if this bug did not exist, I still could not recommend this game. It's just not very fun for the reasons that I mentioned. The core gameplay loop is not very fun. The enemy AI is just too dumb. The level design is just too drab. The weapons here don't feel fun to use at all. There's not enough upgrades. There's not enough reason to keep wanting to go forward. This is just a bad wave shooter, and it's the worst roguelike I have ever played in VR, so I don't recommend it. It is in early access, and the developer is promising a story mode, and you can see an update from the developer back in November who says he's got a reload update, and he did add the new locomotion, so it has been updated since it was released. But I just really think the developer would need to scrap the entire gameplay and start over, because what's there right now is just not to any level where I could recommend. If I have to rate the game as is right now, in the state of it's in right now in early access, I would give it a 3 out of 10. Just stay away, don't buy at any price. And I honestly don't think this full release that's coming in the future would change my mind about this game. There's just too many things wrong with this game. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you like my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, please have a wonderful day and have a happy new year coming up. Goodbye.